You see that tie? You see the Cowboys tie? See that Cowboys tie?
We're in the fourth week. They're gonna lose after like the fifth week.
We already did lose, but we didn't lose last night because we didn't win either. We there it is. It's a get it. We tied. All right. Yeah. I mean, no. Yeah. I might yell and scream and holler. No. I can't have people over. They stress me out. They start. No, no, no. When it's high stakes, this isn't high stakes. This is like I know the outcome. I'm gonna teach it. You're gonna learn it. It's gonna be great. But that I don't know the outcome. People start messing with me. They're like, "Oh, your team's losing," and I'm like, "No, just kidding. I would never resort to violence. That's silly." Hey, everybody! It is coming up on Friday. Is the end of the grading period and our second test, which will greatly help your test, your average. That test on Friday can really help you if you're kind of low, but it can also drag you further down. So like it's important that you're doing your work every day for sure. No. So again, don't don't let this tie fool you, okay? Well, anyways, um if you want to find X and Y intercepts, y'all remember these notes that we did on Friday? If you were not here Friday, or you need to see the notes from Friday, this is the first page. Today we're going to do the second page. But you can definitely get the first page right here. Okay? Y'all see this arrow? It's on my whiteboard right here. Uh, I'll get you a blank copy after the warm up if you need it. So let's do the warm up first. Here's how you do this. Okay? If you want to find an X and a Y intercept, here's how you do it. Okay, first of all, you want to write this equation twice because you're going to find two different intercepts, right? Y'all remember that song we learned on Friday? When X is 0, what is Y? The Y intercept. Bless you. When Y is 0, what is X? The X intercept. And here's what I mean. When X is 0, you can scratch it out. And that's going to help you find the Y intercept. And when you're finding the Y intercept, you have one step. Negative 6y, it has an invisible dot here, multiplier. How do I get rid of the number in front of y? What's the opposite of that multiplier? Divide by negative 6. Divide by negative 6. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 12 divided by 6 is 2, right? So what do? You cross out one of them, solve for the other one. That is your intercept of 2. So that's going to be 0, comma 2, because it's the y value. When y is 0, what is x? The x-intercept. So how do I get rid of the 3 in front of x? What's the opposite? Divide. Divide. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. So my x is negative 4, comma 0. Did you turn in last week's warm-up? Make sure you do that. Put absent on the days you were absent. So this is good for Mondays. I need you to have out Friday's notes because we did one page, and right now we're going to do the second page together. It's going to be pretty straightforward. But who needs the notes from Friday, the blank notes?
Yeah.
Ready to walk in a base. It's 7 or 6, 7. Yeah, what I thought. Thank you. Yes. Make him all right. Enough. Who needs the notes? Right notes. 20. 20 is good. It's all right. No, we want to read the notes. If you don't know tabs, you aren't going to know tabs. All right. If you need it, it's right here. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I did. Okay, here we go. So here's a drive-by of the notes. Now, again, it's literally on paper. Y'all see my hand right here? Literally, these answers are right here. So if you missed it, get it later. But we talked about how to find an intercept on the graph. We talked about how to find the intercept algebraically, which is what I literally just showed you on the warm-up. And then we did some examples and looked at a table. Now here we are on the second page. Okay, this is a throwback to last week. We did this on 2 different warm-ups. You have to be able to solve for y. You have to be able to solve for y. Okay, so let's talk about it. Underline this. Solve each equation for y. This is how we do this right here. Okay. So since we've done it a few times, okay, I'm going to do this at a brisk pace. If you're solving for y, you got to move the x to the other side by doing the opposite. Now, this is a positive 5x. What's the opposite of positive 5x? Negative or minus 5x on one side and then on the other side. The opposites scratch out and you can bring down 2y equals. Please remember, this has an x, this does not. They cannot combine. It's not 7, it's not 7x. But if you remember what I told you, this goes in front. So that way you have mx before b. Negative 5x, and then plus 12. mx plus b, right? Your last step was to divide by the coefficient. Divide by 2. Everything gets divided by 2. Leave it as a fraction because it's rise over run. X, and then 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now, if you can get it, y by itself, then you're able to graph this. Now, before we graph it, you do need one of these cool guys to make some straight lines. You know what I'm saying? Who needs one? Who needs one? I'm not going to throw them. But if you need one, you know where they're at. So go ahead for m. If this is mx plus b, don't we know m is in front of the x? Negative 5 over 2. Don't we know the b is out here by itself? Isn't it 6? And then we should know how to graph this. Now, who thinks you graph the m first? Who thinks you graph the b first? That's not enough voting. You graph the b first, all right? B is where you begin. B is where you begin on the y-axis, on the y-intercept. Okay? So whenever you have mx plus b, you begin at the b. If the b is 6, put a point at 6 right here, my friend. Where do you begin? At b, right? Now, can you rise over run? If the rise over run is negative 5 over 2, is negative going to go up or down? Rise down 5, run 2. So here we go. Rise down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over 2. 1, 2. Right. The slope is negative 5 over 2. So 5 down over 2. Please use a straight edge. Who does not have a protractor to make a straight line? Anyone else not have a protractor to make a straight line? Okay. You have enough cheese? Get it. Anyone else need the notes? Everyone got a protractor. Look at that. You got one already? Sure you're reading. Cool. Let's make a nice straight line. Of course, y'all can do this better than I can because I cannot actually put a protractor on this Wacom pad or whatever it's called. So there's my ugly version. Yours should be nice and straight, right? Yours should be nice and straight, right? Because you have these 2 points. 6 on the y-axis, and then you went down 5, right 2. Make sure you have very specific points, right? Now, that's one way to graph. What? There was an easier way. Okay. Well, slightly easier, maybe. Do y'all know what we did on the warm-up where we found the 2 intercepts by crossing out x and crossing out y? If you do that, you could also plot those 2 points and graph that. So we're going to try that on number 5, but I want to make sure everyone's got this down. Did everyone get this down first? I'm scrolling down. Now, for number 5, what we're going to do is find, going right down the little instructions here, we're going to find the x and y intercepts. Cool. So how do I do that? I got to write this equation 2 times. Or, I have it once, I write it twice. Do you remember the warm-up minutes ago? Cross out x for one of them, cross out y for the other one. Because when x is 0, what is y? The y-intercept. To get rid of this 2, divide by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Y equals 5 means my y-intercept is 5. Or cross out the y value when y is 0. What is x? The x-intercept. So you divide by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that's 2, 0. So you know the coordinate, the exact coordinate. I mean, if you know it, right? Plot these points. 0, 5, the y-intercept is 5. Put a point right there at 5. If the x-intercept is 2, 2, 0, put a point there at 2. And, after the notes, and connect them with a straight line using your straight edge of your protractor. Straight line. All you need are 2 points to make a line, so you can make a nice straight line. That's not it. All right, let's try again. What did you just say? No, I meant like my line was not it. It was very, very, very bad. All right, I'm going to keep trying until I make a nice straight line. Y'all can make it a lot easier with your protractor. That is garbo, but I'm going to leave it there. All right, you get the idea. Make a nice straight line, right? And real quick, do I know the y-intercept? Didn't I already find that right here, right? So the b is 5. And then you can easily find the slope by counting the rise over run between these 2 points. It rises down 5. Down is negative, right? And it runs 2. Negative 5 over 2. Anytime you have a graph, you count the slope and rise over run. Now, y'all know usually we are pretty straightforward, right? Just straight up assignments, right? And I don't do cute stuff. But today, I got something slightly cute, okay? So here's the deal. I'm going to give you an assignment. You're not going to have to finish it today. You're going to have all today and all tomorrow to work on it, okay? But it's just a bunch of blank graphs. So the question is, what do I do with a bunch of blank graphs? Well, the question for those blank graphs are all around the room. Don't y'all love doing this? No. Well, I tried to tell them, but they make me do stuff like this anyways. So anyways, now look, you have to please be very careful. Do you see how this one says number 1? Do you think that one's number 2? Because it's not, okay? They are shuffled around. So that way y'all can scavenge around. Okay, so you can look around and find these, okay? Answer them on your paper. You have today and tomorrow. But some of y'all, looking at your grades, need to correct quizzes and tests. That's going to be your priority. So what are you doing right now? You're going to correct work, missing work, correction work, redos, or this assignment. But you're not doing nothing. You're not just talking. You're not messing around. Sound like a plan? Let's get it done.